even when they put the problems like this, we almost always want to write it again ourselves. So make sure you put this on your paper. The same thing that they have there. We just need to space it out nice and even. 2y and -9. And directly underneath it, the 6x. Directly underneath it, the -6y. And then the -18 right here. So yeah, we need to have a positive 6y and a negative 6y. So what we're going to do, I'll use green here. Tell me what number, and you can just guess if you want, but I think you could do this in your head. What could we multiply this by so that we get a positive 6 right here? What number would we have to multiply here in green? Good, yes, 3 is what we want. So 3 would go there. Now, most of what we're going to do is just a lot of writing, or simple multiply. We'll multiply 3 times the 7x, -7x. We'll multiply 3 here, and we'll multiply 3 there. You don't need those lines. What's 3 times -7x? -21x, isn't it? 3 times positive 2y is positive 6y, and 3 times -9 is -27. Since we already have the -6 where we want it on the second equation, we're just going to write it again. 6x minus 6y is equal to -18. Since we have a positive 6y and a negative 6y, if we add these two up, of course, that's going to equal 0. We don't really write 0, we just cross that off. We eliminate it, like you said. Everything else that we add, if we add these, right, -21 and positive 16 is, I think, -15. Don't forget your x, -15x. Right? And if we add these two, don't we get -45? Right? Tell me what we can do now to get the x. It looks like they multiplied by -15, so don't we then have to divide by -15? All right, so let me make more room, and that's what we'll do. We'll divide both sides of this. I could have fit them closer together, but that's okay. By -15. Oops, I forgot my 1 there. And so we get a negative divided by a negative is positive. And isn't 45 divided by -15 equal to 3? I'm sorry, divided by 3 equal to 15? I'm sorry, divided by 15 is 3. That's what I thought I was going to say there. Okay. Okay. Guess which equation why don't you pick an equation, the first one or the second one? All right, so I'm going to write that second equation, 6x, but watch how I write the x in parentheses. 6y equals -18. So now it says here, remember that when we see an x, we can replace it with a 3, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to erase the x and replace it with a 3. Okay. Doesn't that give me 18? 6 times 3 is 18. 18 minus 6y equals -18. Okay. Now this is really a positive 18, isn't it? Even though I didn't put a plus there, that means we have to subtract 18 on both of these, don't we? I think we're good. So we have. I just need a little more room here. So what we're left with is -6y, and -18 and -18 is -36. So don't we want to now divide by a -6? And I think we're going to get +6 for our answer here. Y equals 6. So that's the other part of my answer. Which comes first here, the 3 or the 6? Right, the same order that we put them in the alphabet. So in your answer thing here, we want to put 3. Did I have a 6 there? 3, 6. Now, before I move on, I want to just say that I don't like to use the word have to, but you really should check to see if your answer is right. When it's IXL, if you get the wrong answer, it's going to take a bunch of points, and we don't want to do that. And here's how we'll check to see if it's right. I have a question for you. Let me write the answer right here. Guess what we'll write whenever we see the letter X? wrote it in green there. Right? And whenever we see the number 6, we're going to write the letter Y. I'm sorry. Whenever we see the letter Y, we're going to replace it with a 6. So what you need to do, I don't want to say have to, you need to check and see if these answers are right. So I'm going to do both equations. I'm going to write both equations again, just to check to see. This is to check to see if my answer is right. I'm going to say negative 7x plus 2y, I'll put those in a second, equals negative 9. That's x and that's y, right? I'm going to erase the x and put a 3. I'm going to erase the y and put a 6. Okay, that'll be 3. That'll be 6. Isn't that going to give me negative 21 and positive 12? And doesn't that equal negative 9? Yes, it does. Okay, but don't just check the first equation. If you're going to check it, check both of them. Let's do the second equation. This one's going to be 6 times x minus 6 times y is equal to negative 18. Once again, I'm going to erase the x and the y. I'm going to replace them with a 3 and a 6. Yeah? Isn't 6 times 3, 18? And negative 6 times 6 is negative 36. And if you start with 18 and subtract 36, do you get negative 18? The answer is yes and yes. If it works in both equations, then yeah, we know our answer is correct. We already did the answer. We just wanted to check to see if it was right. Okay. So I know there's a lot of work there. So you might want to pause this, any place, and then rewind it and play it again.